Hi Miles, just a quick note on the side bend question that you asked me earlier on Twitter. Side bend is apparent in obviously every golfer. I've just highlighted two specific areas, sort of P7 from face on and P9 from down the line. Generally speaking, if a player's hip slide, we'll look at the down the line footage first. If the player's hip slide didn't continue throughout the downswing, the player's head would come off the wall and that player's side bend would diminish. So the more the hips slide, the more side bend the player can create, provided that the body has continued to rotate throughout the downswing. Hip slide is always at 90 degrees to the direction at which the belt points. If the player had a certain amount of side bend when you look at it from face on at P7, and the hip slide, or let's say the hips did not continue to rotate, the hip slide now would be straight towards the target because the belt buckle is pointing towards the golf ball. And as the extension kicked in, we'd see the head move up throughout the hip, sometimes up and back, depending on the severity of hip slide and which it continues. As the hips continue to rotate, the side bend is maintained, but the player is rotating around that side bend, which is why the right shoulder stays a little bit lower through the hip. Because the hips now continuously rotate, it's the extension, it's the tucking under of the hips, which is creating the linear movement through the ball. It's not, the hip slide is not the main contributing factor to linear movement at that stage. Going back to the side bend idea, we got this player at P6 and he was sliding too much too soon. You'd expect to see the left shoulder higher, the right shoulder lower, side bend would be increased. Usually you would see sort of angle and accumulator 1 hung on to a little bit too long. So the sort of backside of this triangle, rather than expanding gradually, becomes a little bit too short. So side bend is apparent in every player. You can view it from down the line. You can view it from face on. It can be done excessively, or it can be done to a degree which is not satisfactory. So you can do it too much, you can do it too little. It's usually a byproduct of other things, such as the extension and the slide. So the amount of side bend that you create is often, like I say, it's like a subsequent effect of other things. So I just wanted to sort of point that out after the little discussion we have. If you need further clarification on that, just send me a quick message on Twitter or email me. And what I'll try and do is put together a little video of me demonstrating some excessive side bends, some side bends that aren't quite enough, and then you can differentiate between the two. You'll have some good visuals to work with for your playing and your coaching. In your case, you do give the appearance of, or can give the appearance of, a little bit too much side bend at times, but as I said, things aren't always what they seem, which is what I'm going to go through with you during your online lesson.